very first Qigong class that I took in the dojo when we were getting our master's degree, I think, at Ioma. And it was for me like the first time I'd ever taken yoga. I was just like, wow, what is this? How do I do this for the rest of my life? This is all I want to do. How do I make a living doing just this? Feeling energy move through the body. So a lot of the way that I teach is about energy cultivation. Just awareness of the energy field, awareness of what's going on in the body and just outside the body, awareness of what's going on in the mind and the emotions, and then just being present with it. So I learned in my spiritual practices that the definition of suffering is wanting things to be any way other than they are. And so just being present with what is, whatever that is, then it's alleviating suffering. And then as we're present with it, sometimes it self-liberates, and sometimes then we can move it. So there are sounds that we can do, there are movements that we can create with our body in certain shapes and forms that help to move those energies out, like anger from our liver, or grief and sadness from our lungs, or over-worry, overthinking from our spleen, and fear from our kidneys, and an expression of joy from our hearts, of just loving kindness and self-compassion and grace and presence. And so even though it's like a moving meditation, the external part, to then just still and calm the body, calm the mind, to be present with what is, it's also a way that then we move out in the world. Because as we cultivate this care and this love for ourselves, it's just natural to extend that to everyone else. So it's so beautiful, the feedback I get from friends and colleagues or students, whoever, when we practice Qigong together. There are all these stories of how it's affected their life, how they're calmer at home, more efficient and disciplined at work, and how they just feel their heart expand and like are more aware of the interconnectedness of the world around us. And one of my favorite things to do to teach, if we can be outside when the weather's nice, is to work with trees. And so I teach this form called the microcosmic orbit, which is moving energy up the spine and down the spine with the breath. Then you can do that with a tree and move it from your crown to the tree's crown, to its roots, to your roots, or the other way around. And then just be aware as you're exhaling carbon dioxide that's nourishing the tree, and it doesn't need oxygen, but we need it to live. And there's a symbiotic relationship with you and this other living being that nourishes you through air, through perhaps its nuts or seeds or fruits or leaves or bark. It just like goes on and on and on for there. But it's my favorite practice that I've ever learned is practicing daily and sharing that with other people and teaching them to practice it.